Hey guys, so today on May Made It, how to wrap a present. And this is an empty box because I just want to show you how to do this with an empty box. But it will be interesting, so stick around. Alright guys, so let's get started. Now the first thing that is very important, and it's going to sound silly, but it is important. Anytime you build anything or put anything together, you need to make sure you have a good foundation. Now as you can see, this box is kind of loose on this end and could probably come out. What I want you to do before you start wrapping your present is make sure that the container it is in is nice and square and firm. And here's how I suggest doing that. I'm going to bring my tape over. Just put it kind of in this hole for me. And notice that this top piece is loose and it's kind of open right here. What you're going to do is just press down and push together so that you get a nice flat piece, and then while holding it flat, put your tape on it. What that'll do is give you a much squarer surface to work with. Do that anywhere that you feel you need to square up the package before you wrap it. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to make sure you have just enough paper. This is where a lot of people run into a lot of problems. They get a big old piece of paper, like this is a big piece of paper right here that I have, and this would cover a lot. See how long this is? You don't want a piece this long. This is a big piece of paper, okay? It's the whole length of a roll of paper. I'll show you the paper too. It's really cute. I got it at Hobby Lobby this weekend. Look how cute with the candy canes. Okay, so what you do is you want to lay your paper down flat on your surface. I'm going to move my tape dispenser for just a second. So you have your paper down. I'm going to use this end to show you. Bring your package that you're wrapping onto the paper, okay? And you want to do a test run. On one end, you want to see how much paper that is. Now, I don't know if you can tell. I'm going to try to turn it, but that paper overlaps the box. That's too much paper. Where you ideally want your paper to land when you have it on its side is halfway up the box. A tiny bit more than halfway is fine because you just need those pieces to match. So you're going to put that down and see about how much you have on this end. Now this paper actually has those little lines in it, which are really great. So it's about 1 square and 3/4. So you want to do the same thing on this side, because too much paper is what a lot of people run into, because you tend to think, you know, more is better, but it's simply not. So I'm going to come right here, just about the same distance away. Make myself a mark, and I don't have to stay here either. I can now move the package, turn my paper where I can reach it to cut it, and then start to cut. And one thing you want to be careful of is jagged edges. So you want to make sure you cut smooth. If you have really sharp scissors, sometimes you can just kind of push them through the paper. That is how big a piece we need. So I want to show you that in comparison to the box. That is what we need. It's actually probably more than we need, because now we're going to look at one more thing. So you have your present inside, and be sure if you have something that's breakable or whatever, you put tissue in there and kind of wrap it up and make it pretty. Or if you have, it doesn't matter what you have inside. If you can wrap it in some tissue to make it look better, that's just better when a person opens it. So now let's see if we still have too much paper. And I think that we might. So we're going to put our package back into the paper, okay? I'm going to try to get it where you can see all edges. Okay, so we're back into the paper. Now we're going to see how far over this will wrap. Now I'm going to pull this back so you can see just how far over that lapped. Do you see that? That lapped a little less than half, okay? So here's what I want you to do. Again, with the halfway mark, pull this paper where you can see it here, bring your package over, and use the top, or use the top of the package as your guide. That's a little more than halfway. That's all you need right there. Now for the rest of the paper, all you're going to need is enough to meet that halfway point and overlap slightly. Now, if that makes you nervous, you can cut the paper right to the edge of the package, because you can always fold it. So I'm going to do that to show you how you can fold if you want a nice, pretty, clean edge. So now here's what we're going to do. Very important, this is the top of my box because I sealed it shut on this side. Flip it over to the bottom, okay? You never want the seam to be at the top of the package, so just work on the bottom to start with. And now, this package actually has kind of a midway point for us, and it's marked there. So like if I wanted to just pull it to that line, I could, but I'm gonna slightly overlap it, about that much. And then I'm going to put a piece of tape there to secure it. I'm going to use my tape to hold that other side down too. Now, ideally, you'd have one of those little tape dispensers that you can get. You know, I don't know who they're made by, but they come off your hand. I love those. Okay, now, a tip for a pretty package. I have secured it here, but if you can see this, there's kind of a sloppy bubble. See how it's round? Here's what you want to do. Lay that package down, knowing that the tape has secured it. Hold this side of your paper and push. Now, I know this seems like a lot of work to wrap a present, but once you get used to this little technique, you can do this really fast. I could wrap this present in just a matter of minutes, okay? So now I've pushed it to, and I want to show you how the bubble has changed. See how much tighter it is now? That's what you're looking for. So you've got that pushed over to the side, pulling that paper tight. And now you want to bring up the other portion of the paper, keeping it tight, okay? I'm actually pulling with my thumb here to put pressure on it to get a nice edge. Now this is where I told you I wanted to show you how to fold the paper to get a pretty edge. Holding it, and this paper is so curly anyway, you're just going to tuck this under. Now you can be really, really anal if you want to and match this up like wallpaper. I am not that anal. Believe it or not, watching me wrap this package, you might think I am, but I'm not. So I'm just going to fold that and pull, making sure that I've got it nice and snug. Now I'm going to get some more tape. And another thing, you do not need much tape. People fight with tape when they open a present. So far we've used 2 pieces and we've wrapped almost the whole thing. Now for the tricky part. I'm going to show you one end this way, and then I'm going to stand it up and show you. So here's how this works. You're going to take this paper in the middle and you're going to push it down toward the center of your package. When you do this, you have the middle pushed down. You notice you have kind of like little rabbit ears on this side. The point of the rabbit ear is to push it straight to the edge of the box, to the edge of your package, and then crease. Okay, and when I show you this on the top side, this will make a lot more sense, but I want to show you this way first. So I'm pushing it to the edge of the package and then crease. Now I do not have to, but I'm going to put a piece of tape at that point down there in the middle, right down here. I really don't have to because it will stay, but I want to because as I'm moving it around, I like to have that. So this is what you end up with. You push the paper to the side and fold it, push the paper to this side and fold it. Now I'm going to show you from the top. A lot easier to understand it from the top. You are going to press down both pieces of paper there. You're going to push until this paper's at the edge, and then taking your fingers, make a crease on this side, okay? Then you're going to push and then make another crease. All right, now this time I'm going to show you a little different way. Instead of bringing this side first, we're going to take these edges first. You can do this either way. This is more the professional way, the way I'm doing it now. And the reason for this is, or the reason I know this is more professional, is I worked at a local card store for quite a long time. And my favorite thing to do was gift wrap. So everybody knew it and they would stick me back in gift wrap. So all I did here was fold those 2 pieces together and then make my point again. And I'm going to turn it to show you. See how nice and neat that is? And then you're just going to fold this down. Now if you do this correctly, you should kind of have a cross. I'm going to put it like that. You should kind of have a cross there in the middle, and it only takes 1 piece of tape to hold it. So you don't have to have tape everywhere. Now, here is what makes the difference in a package if you ask me. This is something I learned when I worked at that gift store, okay? This package has rounded edges. I don't know that I'll be able to convey this, but these edges are very, there we go. These edges are very round. I want to show you what makes this more professional. You're going to take your fingers like you're pinching. Let me see if I can get them where you can understand. Like you're pinching like this, okay? And you're going to go to that edge and pinch and then run your finger down it. And what that does, it makes such a difference. I'm going to show you one side versus the other. See if I can get it back where it was. Okay. This side that I pinched is very crisp and sharp, and this side is kind of round and looser, okay? So I'm going to do that to all the sides because I just think that makes a huge difference when you do that. You just run your fingers. I know this seems like a lot of work, but I promise you, and you can do it on all the edges and give yourself a nice, square, finished package. I know it looks like a lot of work, but once you do this once or twice, you'll really see how much faster this goes. And for ribbon, let me show you a really quick cheater bow. You probably have seen this everywhere. This is a piece of ribbon we're gonna use, and I'm gonna cut about 7 inches for this package. I don't need a whole lot, okay? And what you'll do with your ribbon, it's so simple. You're just gonna take it and push it forward and overlap it. It looks like you're making one of those almost like awareness ribbons, and you're just gonna place it down on your package. And then, using a piece of tape, the only thing you wanna be sure of is that your tape runs across the entire piece. Okay, you've put a piece of tape there, so now you have a little bow. And don't panic about this piece of tape, because when you put your name card or your name sticker or whatever, you put it over the top of this. And this bow, if when you're packing it to take it somewhere, it gets flat and pops back up like that, it'll be fine. It still looks, you know, good. No matter how flat it gets, it still looks nice. Okay, I hope that helped you guys out. I have so many people who say, how do you wrap those presents so neatly? And that is it. It is so simple. The creasing makes a difference. I know that sounds crazy, but it does. And don't use too much paper. Too much paper gets you into a problem on these ends, because you got to find where to put it. You got to figure out, you know, what to do. And go ahead and cut it right before you get it here, because then you have to take those scissors and cut all that paper off, and it's just crazy wasted time and effort. So there you go, guys. How to wrap a package. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.